learned how to create lists. Let's understand list indexing, nested lists, and negative indexing. We have already learned how to create a list with various items in it. Now let's understand how we can retrieve specific items from a list. This is done using a technique known as list indexing, which works much like how we accessed characters in a string. To access items, we can use square brackets after the list name, and we can place the index number inside those brackets. It's important to remember that in Python, indexing always begins at 0. Now let's say we have a list of city names. So starting with cities is equal to, we give Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, and Kolkata. In this list, Delhi is at index 0. Kolkata is at index 4. Now, if we want to access the first element, we use print cities 0. Now, trying to access an index that does not exist will give an error. For example, if we give cities 10, so this is giving us an error. This error tells us that we are trying to reach an index that is outside the available range. Another common mistake is trying to use a non-integer value for the index. Say we try to give this print and we give cities and we give 2.5. See, Python will raise a type error, reminding us that we can only use whole numbers as indices. Now, let's explore nested lists. Lists that contain another lists as their elements. Now look at this example. Data is equal to, let's say we give 100, 200, 300, and we give another list with 400, 500, 600, and then we give 700. Suppose we want to access the value 500. First, we need to access the nested list, that is 400, 500, 600, which is at the index 3 of data. So first, let's do this. Print, then we give data, then we give 3. So this gives us 400, 500, 600. Now we want the second item, that is 500 in that nested list. Now since it's at index 1, we can chain the indexing like this. So let's see. Print, then we give data, then we give 3 and 1. So we get 500. This same logic works even if the list contains another list inside the nested one. Now let's look at that example. So we have deep underscore data is equal to, let's say we give 10, 20, then we give square brackets, we give 30, then we give another list inside, that is 40, 50, and then we give 60. To access the value 50, you would have to go deeper by chaining the indices. So let's see this. Print, if we want deep underscore data, and then we give 2, 1, and again we'll give 1. So we get the output as 50. Now, let's talk about negative indexing, which allows you to access the elements from the end of the list. So, let's take the example numbers is equal to, and let's give 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. Now, numbers minus 1 will return the last item, which is 55, and numbers minus 2 will return 44. Let's go one level deeper with a nested example. So if we give numbers minus 1, 55, numbers minus 2 gives us 44. Now let's look at the nested example. So if we give info is equal to, and let's give name, comma, let's give age, comma, let's give location, comma, let's give 80, 90, and 100. Now, if we want to get the value 90 using negative indexing, we can do this. So let's look. First, get the last element, which is the nested list. So how to get that? We'll do info and we give minus 1. So we get the list. Now, we have to give minus 2 to get the second to last item from the nested list. So we give info, then we give minus 1 and we give minus 2. So how will, see, it will give us 90. So just like with strings, negative indexing works from the end towards the beginning and it always starts at minus 1. Now let's quickly do a quick recap. So first we learned that indexing always starts at 0. We have to use the square brackets to access the elements. Only whole numbers, that is integers, can be used as indices. Nested lists require multiple indexing steps. Negative indices count backwards from the end.